Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Simplified, a show that explains intense topic from around the world and simplifies it for you so that you can appear cooler in front of your friends.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello and welcome everyone. This is a new episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast, and joining me in the studio is no one except our producer over here, Shravan. What's up, Shravan?
Engineer.
Engineer. Sorry, my bad. Well, you can be both, producer and engineer. It doesn't matter. You are here for every show, watching making us sound better on the show. So what's up? I mean, nobody is here in front of me to say hi, so I'm saying hi to you. Because the reason is Kevin and Chiranjit are joining us via phone call. Hello, boys.
Hello.
So now, are you ready? Let's start with for the first news that we have today. The Under-17 team are playing a Four Nations tournament with Colombia, Chile and Mexico. So they played their first match against Mexico and they lost. It was a heavy defeat, 1-5 loss. Kevin, thoughts on it?
Koi baat nahi. This is the first game of the tournament and the result is not important. It wasn't in our favor right from the start because they scored very early. They scored in the first minute, and all we can do is just hope that this team gets the exposure that the under-17 coach is looking for, because it's all about playing out your players in the best of positions, because it's been a good exposure in the Europe as well. Switching over to the North American continent, the Latin American and where does Mexico fall? I think Central American?
South American.
Yeah. So it's great that they are, not breaking that, at least the playing time. They won from one nation to the other. They are moving. They are playing competitive games. It's not just friendlies anymore. We're getting closer. And this is the best preparation that I think the federation needs to be commended for their efforts, because if 1-2 did get cancelled, they did not even let that just that be. They arranged for something else, and I think we'll get better. And we're playing against good sides. Mexico, we know how good they can be, how quick they can be, and let's not keep the result in mind. Let's just hope the preparation is going well.
Well, Chiranjit, your thoughts on it?
Well, I think this is a glimpse into how it's going to be in the upcoming World Cup, okay, because they're playing three pretty good Latin American countries like Chile, Colombia, Mexico. All of these, all of these teams are actually better than even US or some of the other teams we see in the continent. So these are actually teams who play in World Cup at the senior level. And who have this developed football culture that we are aspiring to match up in the future. So in that sense, it's a great thing that AIFF managed to send them to this tournament, and they are getting to play these teams. It's very important to have them get exposed to that level of quality and get an idea of what world-class football is like and where they are.
Yeah.
In that round. So, maybe this will make them realize that, whatever they are doing or whatever they have accomplished or prepared for so far is still not adequate to, put up a good fight in the upcoming World Cup. And maybe that will spur them on, and maybe they will improve a little bit more.
Yeah. And
even if it does not happen in the Under-17 World Cup, they will keep improving, because these memories of these games will stay with them. And hopefully that will deliver some good results in the next 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just this would be a great learning experience for them, and they can only take away some great learnings and also learn from their mistakes, whatever they've committed against these big teams. So exposure is one big thing, and experience is one big thing that we're looking at. Now, coming back to this team, the other team that was upset right now with South America is an ISL side, Delhi Dyanoms, because the reason why I say that they're obsessed is because they started signing this 29-year-old Brazilian midfielder, Paulino Dias. Then they went on to sign a Uruguayan winger, Matthias Miraj Baje. And then yesterday they broke out the news that they've now signed an Argentine striker, Juan Leandro Vogliotti. So Chiranjit,
it's like they have actually already done all their 8 foreign signings, but it's nice how they're dropping it. One day at a time.
Yeah.
This is serial episode ki tarah they are announcing.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. Delhi Dyanoms are looking like they're gonna have more Latin American flavor this season than most other ISL teams. They have young Indian players and a Latin American flavor. I kind of like them more than most other teams right now in the ISL simply because my Latin American bias compared to Europe. So it's going to be very interesting to see them. I pretty much think their game will have more flair and creativity. Maybe it won't be structurally better than, let's say, Bengaluru FC or Mumbai City or FC Goa even. But it will be very interesting to watch. There'll be an entertaining side.
Yeah. Kevin, now looking at them, they're signing this, just like I mentioned at the start, they're picking up some great experience, in certain categories, like a midfielder, a winger, then a striker. So from each country in the South America, the Latin American, they're picking up each player that fits into that category and some well-versed flavor out there. Like everything is there.
I think what needs to be first noted is the statement made by the director of the Delhi Dyanoms, Rohan Sharma.
Right.
He says, in my opinion, Juan Vogliotti is one of the biggest signings. One came in heavily recommended by Aspire. That is the tie-up that they have with the Qatar Academy. He's a clinical finisher and he's going to be a nightmare for any defense in the ISL.
Okay. Yeah, that's something to look out for.
Speaking.
Yeah.
This is confidence. This is something that is throwing out, for all, like a mini threat to all the defenses in the ISL. And watch out for this guy. We've invested in him after a lot of thought process.
Yeah.
This is really something to be looking forward to, because you have a striker who's played in the top division, an Argentine striker playing in the Bolivian top division, and he's the second highest scorer there.
Yeah.
He's not somebody who's in his prime and he's not in touch with football. He's just a big name. This guy can score goals. This is huge. He's nicknamed the Chico. Okay, Chico. And 32-year-old. Okay, we've seen the age of foreigners just going on the downside. We're seeing mostly late 20-year-olds. Now 32 is something that we've been not talking about. We've seen foreigners coming in the ISL all about 30. So 32, I think, is still fine. Still fine.
32 is teenagers practically in ISL standards.
So he scored 21 times in 36 appearances, 36 games in a season. That's big. It's not like ISL 14 games or 16 games. This is something we're talking about. Some real mean goal scoring machine.
Now we'll have to wait and see that if the Rohan Sharma's words come into reality and if it's put into effect, So something really interesting to look forward to for Delhi Dyanoms fans. Now, moving ahead, but sticking to something that we've been talking about this for many days now, the Abinash Ruidas dispute. Chiranjit, please, what's happening?
Yes, it might come to a headway.
Okay.
See, the entire complication is heating up. Yesterday there were 2 meetings regarding this, one by AIFF, which is the Indian Association, and IFA, which is the West Bengal Association. So IFA's meeting was about the actual case. Like, the entire thing hinges on one question. If Abinash Ruidas says East Bengal forged his signature on a contract paper, and East Bengal are saying, no, that's his real signature. He's contracted to us for 2 more years. So the entire thing hinges on whether or not that signature is real. And IFA came together, they sat down, they discussed the matter, and they have, taken some steps towards getting this verified by a handwriting expert. And that's going to be done apparently by Tuesday. Like they're gonna fix up the matter, and let's say after a few days of that, they will get the report back from the handwriting expert, and the entire case will probably depend on what the handwriting expert says. So they are investigating that matter. But look at the AIFF meeting side of things. When the press release came out, it did not say anything about investigating the handwriting or actually trying to look into the veracity of the case. They were looking for ways to actually get into it and override the IFA's decision on this matter. Okay, they simply formed this 6-member committee, 3 from, I think, some of them are from AIFF Disciplinary Committee, some of them are from the Player Status Committee. So this committee is mostly looking into FIFA statutes and other different rules and regulations to determine who has the jurisdiction to pass a sentence on this dispute. And they're doing this on the basis that when this Abinash Ruidas first made that complaint that East Bengal has forged his signature, he simply sent the complaint to AIFF, not to IFA. And when IFA later called a meeting where he could have gone and made his case, he just chose to be absent twice. Like, imagine the kind of thing, you have your career on the line and you don't even turn up at the hearings.
Yeah.
I mean, this is weird to say the least. So then he went on and he went into the IFL draft claiming the signature was forged, and then Mumbai City picked him up from the draft. But because he's registered from Kolkata, Mumbai City have to send an application to IFA to get him transferred to a team that's registered from Mumbai. That's the general procedure.
Okay.
But Mumbai City still have not done that. Okay. So they should be an involved party in this dispute because they want to take Ruidas, but they have not gotten involved yet. I don't think they want to get into this mess right now, which may be a wise decision later on. But it seems like AIFF is trying to it seems like they are not happy with what IFA decided. Their initial decision was that because, his player token, which we talked about a few episodes back, Ruidas' token is with East Bengal, and they are trying to determine whether the signature is forged. So in the meantime, he must register with East Bengal for this next season. So that actually makes sure that he does not get to play for Mumbai City. Okay, no matter what happens later on, it will become entirely complicated. And Ruidas is adamant that he will not play for East Bengal.
Okay.
No matter what happens.
Chiranjeev, let me just cut you over here.
Yeah.
I'm just reading a tweet by FPAI. This was sent out last evening. It says the token system is not recognized by the AIFF, therefore it is invalid. We are in support of Abinash Ruidas. Now, what is
FPI have repeatedly come out and said East Bengal intimidated the entire, intimidated Ruidas to get him to do everything or whatever it is. But then again, the whole thing, even if you overrule the token system, the thing that happens in the end is that whether or not the signature is forged. Okay. And I only see IFA looking into whether or not the signature is real, but AIFF seems to be looking for ways to just disqualify IFF from taking a decision here. I don't know what this will lead to. This maybe IFA's jurisdiction stands, maybe AIFF's jurisdiction overrules that. But it's actually very weird to see that it's not about a dispute between a player and a club anymore. It's becoming a dispute between a local association and the national federation over who gets to rule over that dispute, and the actual dispute is getting sidelined in this.
Well, it's just a cluster of mess right now here, right? Because now where does this leave Mumbai City? Just like you mentioned that Mumbai City is not yet intervened here. So if in case, whatever comes out, the result comes out that Abinash Ruidas won't go to City, but they will go to probably East Bengal. So where does that leave Mumbai City? Will then they come into the picture, or will they just let go of him?
If they want to get into the picture, they have to send an application to IFA right now, asking for him to be transferred.
Okay.
So unless they do that, they cannot, by rules, they cannot become a party involved in this. But I'm pretty sure that they're not sitting on their back somewhere. They are active in some way, which is not visible in the apparent public spotlight. And AIFF's, the way AIFF are acting, it seems like they are going to, try to get this entire jurisdiction out of IFF's hand.
Okay.
So they are trying to actually uphold the interest of IMG Reliance as usual. I don't know what this goes, but I would have expected, AIFF to take similar steps to actually try to solve this original question that the entire case hinges on, whether the signature is real or not. But hardly anything on that. It seems their priorities lie elsewhere.
So only
it's
once.
Not like,
So only once the reports from the handwriting experts come out will be a final closure to this.
Yes, but that is going to take a while. It takes some time to evaluate everything and come up with a scientific report. But today, this is Friday. By today evening, expect to see a statement from AIFF on whether or not IFA has jurisdiction. Because the committee is supposed to pass their opinion on what kind of rules apply here, and if AIFF want to move in and sideline IFA from this matter, they will do it before even the handwriting signature report comes out.
Okay.
So we'll see what AIFF says today and what turn this entire matter takes. But it's just this thing has gotten blown out of proportion in ways I could not see coming.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But just when it looks like whatever is related to the Kolkata clubs or related to Kolkata, it just takes a long time. It never sees an end unless we talk about it for 20 times or, every day it's part of our podcast or our stories.
Yeah, but don't, don't assume that I'm just, making that assumption that East Bengal are right. They have been involved in disputes with players before. Lots of clubs, clubs from Kolkata, Goa and elsewhere, there have been, reports of players being forced to sign for a club or their signatures being forged to, make them stay longer. And sometimes players don't come out and take a stand like Ruidas has taken. They just, just to advance their careers, they just say, okay, I'll just stay here for another year or two and try to do my best so that, the next time I get a better contract or something like that. But, you can't decide either way. Ruidas has run into some disciplinary trouble in the past in East Bengal. And obviously his, relationship with East Bengal is not that great. Some of the officials that are serving there. So it may be a case of East Bengal trying to screw over Ruidas, or it may be Ruidas trying to get out of a club where he does not want to play, despite having another 2 years of contract left with them. So it's entirely, it's all up in the air.
Well, moving on from off-field mess to some on-field action, because in Aizawl there's footballing action going on. Independence Day football tournament is taking place. Chiranjeet, please give us some updates. What's happening? What's the scene like?
So, a few days ago when we were in Aizawl, we were hearing about some upheaval in the transfer market. The entire FC were buying some of the best local strikers. And I think we saw a glimpse of that in the first game of the Independence Day football tournament. they played Aizawl FC, and Aizawl FC ended up losing. And then Chanmari FC, the other national level club from Mizoram, they came in and they were playing Chingaweng. And Chingaweng beat them squarely, like by 5-1. So, I mean, they have been hit by financial strikes recently. I was hoping that the Pune City partnership would give them some extra money and help them to make a good team for the upcoming Mizoram Premier League. But if this particular tournament is anything to go by, these two big teams, so-called big teams from Mizoram, they are going to have a hard time, maintaining local dominance. And Chanmari FC are the defending champions of Mizoram Premier League. It seems like there are 3-4 other teams which are making some big investments and trying to claim the trophy. And how great it is. The champions of India are being beaten by some club that does not even play in the second division. And we have Chanmari FC, which almost won the second division and is the defending local champion, is again being beaten squarely by a club that has never won the Mizoram Premier League. So
yeah, but once again, the champions of India are no more with the same squad, right? That won them the trophy. It's all been torn apart.
Yeah, it has been torn apart, but it's not like they lack resources.
Yeah,
it's not like they cannot make another good team. And I think this shows more than anything else the depth of talent in Mizoram. You see a few good players. How many Mizo players are active in the top section of Indian football? 100 or so. But there are another 200 players who are playing local leagues and different tournaments and amateur competitions as well, who can come out and replace most of them right now. Okay, and these kind of local tournaments, it just gives you a chance to look at that local talent who are pretty much capable of delivering at the national level if they are given a chance.
Well, yeah, I mean, some action happening out there now. Even CFL, the 119th edition of CFL is about to kick off. So how is the scene in Kolkata like?
Well, it's raining hard and Khalid Jamil was doing his first practice match with East Bengal, and that got rained out because the East Bengal ground has some problem with drainage. So they are now thinking about moving their home matches to Barasat, which may or may not happen. Meanwhile, Mohun Bagan are doing well in practice matches. They are going to play their home games at Mohun Bagan ground, so that's going to be something to marvel at. Nothing really beats the atmosphere at Mohun Bagan ground. The Calcutta Football League proper will start on the 10th of August, 6 days from now. First day we will see East Bengal play. Next day Mohammedan Sporting play. The next day Mohun Bagan will play. And hopefully all of them will play in their own stadiums. So that you get to, I think the league is being broadcast on Kolkata TV. It's a Bengali news channel. If you can get hold of it, do so. But it's going to give you, like, when you see, you remember we were watching, a couple of years ago, we used to watch Calcutta Football League in a restaurant in Andheri together. So you just get to see that madness when you see the original, birthplace of Indian football is the Maidan. Yeah. And when you see the matches taking place at the Maidan stadiums, at East Bengal ground, Mohun Bagan ground, Mohammedan Sporting ground, nothing beats that. The mud, the rain, the grass, those galleries which are way too close to the ground, it's amazing.
Yeah. Now, Kevin, what are you looking forward to from the CFL side? East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, your eyes will be on that. Or would you still stick to say how Khalid works his wonders with East Bengal?
I think both these tournaments, especially the CFL, which is one of the oldest in running still in India, it may not draw a lot of attention from all media, but then this is where the most passionate crowd and most passionate players get in, and it's played under a whole lot of pressure. This pressure is equivalent to one of the most difficult matches to play. because this crowd knows their football. It's just like playing against to an educated crowd. So East Bengal and Mohun Bagan is really one of the oldest, and we talk about so much about the derby. So this is like a whole new league of derbies.
Yeah.
So it's just playing against someone you see right across the road, and once you're friends, and the other moment you're just enemies on the field. So this is a real test for Khalid Jamil. Even though as a player he's played for a lot of clubs, but as a true test for a manager or as a head coach, this is it. It's just a precursor to getting into the I-League, but it's a whole new level.
Yeah.
Seriously, one thing I want to point out. He's played for teams from Mumbai. He's played for teams from Goa. In Indian club football, I'm saying. He's never played for a team from Kolkata. And he has never coached a team from Kolkata. There is a fundamental difference between coaching in those clubs and these clubs, and he has never faced this kind of pressure, because the pressure is on you from the first day to win, and especially in CFL. Even one loss means you are a villain. So that's how it is, and this will change him as a coach. That's my prediction. Whatever happens, whether he gets success.
Yeah. No, East Bengal are the defending champions, right, of CFL?
Yeah, they have won the league last 7 seasons in a row.
Yeah, so this will
and
be
if they win this season, they will have a set a world record, I think.
Yeah.
At this level. CFL, the local leagues are more or less work as the unofficial third division in the country, and they're semi-professional, recognized state leagues. So I don't think that if you go back at the semi-pro divisions or the second division or the first division, anywhere in the world you don't see a club winning a league 8 years ever.
No. Yeah.
Like where does that happen? And this is not some case that they dominate. Freaking anybody can just spoil your party, because this is so close. It always comes down to that last couple of games to decide who is going to win the title. And there was a few years ago, there was this case of Taliban Jogragami suddenly making a title challenge, and it went into the last day where East Bengal versus Taliban Jogragami was happening. And if East Bengal won the match, East Bengal would win the league. If Taliban Jogragami won the match, Taliban would win the league. And if it was a draw, Mohun Bagan would win the league. And it was such a mind-shatteringly tense match, and East Bengal won it 2-1 to secure the title. And Taliban Jogragami missed the sitter in extra time. Like, almost had a heart attack. Like, fans of 3 clubs in front of like a 60,000 crowd at Salt Lake Stadium had a heart attack at that moment. So you can imagine this is how much pressure that acts, and Kevin pointed it out right. Even at the national level, you're already a proven player, and you have some sort of cushion, but this is where your career is made and broken. Of young players, of new crops of players who are getting exposed to this kind of competitive football for the first time. And it's amazingly electrifying to watch it.
Well, as always, we say that off the field is always a mess, but on the field it's something great to look forward to, because a lot of action coming up, not just CFL or the Independence Day football tournament. There's a lot of things happening. The AFC Cup match coming up, and some more actions, all of it on its way. So it's some great footballing action. We are back into the season.
We have Champions Cup coming up mid-August.
Yeah, so it's all a lot of footballing action coming up to keep us intact and keep us away from the mess that's happening off the field. Now that's all, folks, for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a weekend coming up, so you all will listen to us only next Monday now. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, then please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get updates of our new episode. Please leave your comments below of what you think about the Delhi signings, and also about the CFL or whatever that you want to know about the under 17. Also talking about under 17, they take on Chile today. No, they take on Colombia today, and on Sunday, that's 6th August, they take on Chile, and that's the end. That will be the end of the tournament that's happening, and that's all. Have a great day, folks. Have a great weekend. Come back to us next week. Cheers, and have a good day and a good weekend.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through ATKT.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. ATKT.in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.